Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching Shazam, the political vigilante, folks. Well, we're already getting into people announcing they're running for president and big endorsements. Joe Biden has announced he's running for re-election. Him and Kamala Harris have started to get out there and bang the drum for donors. And a big endorsement just came from the Sierra Club. Should we be shocked? I mean, this is the Sierra Club that backed Hillary Clinton during the 2016 primary. I understand backing Hillary against Trump in 2016, but this is, first of all, let's just show you, this is the Sierra Club's official announcement that they put on Twitter, okay? So this is what they said. This is their big announcement. Today, we joined other leading climate organizers to endorse President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris for re-election. President Biden has been the most pro-climate action president in American history. How do you say that with a straight face? And we're ready to take the fight to the next level in 2024. NRD Action Fund, LCV Next Gen PAC. This is, and just below, it's unbelievable. I mean, what people said are just like as we write, the League of Conservation Voters is hosting a gala. They are trying to welcome President days after he approved horrendous pipeline. This is an outrage. The hypocrisy is galling. This must be stopped. This is, but let me show you this. This is, again, this is on the Washington Post from December 6, 2021. Biden is approving more oil and gas drilling permits on public lands than Trump. He's worse than Trump was. That was from 2021, but let me show you an even more updated. This is from the Center for Biological Diversity. This is from January 24th of 2023. Biden administration oil gas drilling approvals outpace Trump's. Massive fossil fuel expansion undermines UN climate comments. Federal data shows the Biden administration approved 6,430 permits for oil and gas drilling on public lands in his first 2 years, outpacing Trump administration's 6,170. 6,100 is an appalling number that Trump did, and Biden has done more. The Biden administration's policy of fossil fuel expansion contradicts the clear climate science that fossil fuel growth must be stopped and governments must phase out fossil fuels to avoid the most catastrophic consequences of climate change. 2 years of runaway drilling approvals are a spectacular failure of climate leadership by President Biden and Interior Secretary Deb Haaland, said Taylor McKinnon of the Center for Biological Diversity. Avoiding catastrophic climate change requires phasing out fossil fuel extraction, but instead we're still racing in the opposite direction. The Biden-approved drilling permits will result in more than 800 million tons of estimated equivalent greenhouse gas pollution, or the annual climate pollution from about 217 coal-fired power plants. Nearly 4,000 of the Biden permits are on public lands administered by the U.S. Bureau of Land Management, New Mexico office, followed by 1,223 drilling permits in Wyoming and several hundred each in Utah, Colorado, California, Montana, and North Dakota. Scientific analyses show climate pollution from the world already produced fossil fuel developments, if fully developed, will push warming past 1.5 degrees Celsius. Avoiding such warming requires ending new investment in fossil fuel projects and phasing out production to keep as much as 40% of the already developed fields in the ground. Listen to this quote. The President and Interior Secretary have the power to avoid a climate catastrophe, but they need to change course rapidly. Strong executive action can meet the climate emergency with the urgency it demands, starting with phasing out fossil fuel production on public lands and waters. The COP26 summit in Glasgow, Biden called climate change an existential threat and pledged to cut emissions. The Interior Department review of federal oil and gas programs effectively ignored climate, calling instead for adjustments to royalties, bids and bonding, Federal fossil fuel production causes nearly 1/4 of U.S. greenhouse gas pollution, worsening the climate and extinction crisis and disproportionately harming communities of color and low wealth. I don't know how much more clear that is. That's from the center. I mean, the Washington Post said it. How do you outpace Trump, who Trump and his whole cabinet were climate deniers? So you say you care about the climate, but then you give more permits than people who deny that climate collapse is happening. And the Sierra Club, I'm ashamed. I was a big member of them like 20 some years ago. And now this is, what an embarrassment. It's, the numbers are the numbers, guys. This isn't like, whenever liberals say they've got to vote for Biden, just show this video, show these news articles. You don't even have to argue or make insults. Just go, Biden has signed more drilling permits than Trump did. That's that. That's a fact. There's nothing to argue. There's nothing to like. So how can he be good for the environment if he's worse than Trump? This is the madness of the liberals. Conservatives are just nutbags. They're just openly greedy idiots who are like, climate change doesn't exist. They're stupid and they fed their base this. Well, they're not stupid. They don't care. They just love money. Look, I've covered on this show. We've covered it on Government Secrets. The oil companies did internal studies with their own scientists going as far back as 1958, showing that the internal combustion engine was creating climate change. There was another very famous study by Exxon in 1977 that was like, this is awful. And it was so alarming to the Exxon executives. It was like, let's do another study. They did another one like in 1980 or 81 that was said it's even worse than we thought. And then Exxon and the whole fossil fuel industry pivoted away from this, buried these studies, and then doubled down on spending money on climate denial. So that's, and so when I see anybody, especially like Jordan Peterson or somebody say, wow, this climate change is hysteria, they're not even reading facts that were concluded by oil company scientists. It's astounding to me. I just can't stomach listening to the dumb Democratic Party regurgitate this existential crisis nonsense, and then they literally go in the opposite direction. And then they gaslight you and tell you you're bad if you don't vote for us. So all the people that voted for Biden and were dancing in the streets, he signed more permits than Trump. Was this what you wanted? This is why I did not vote for Joe Biden. This is why I didn't vote for Joe Biden, because I knew he wasn't going to be better than Trump. In fact, I didn't think he would be worse than Trump on the environment, but wow, turns out he is. Facts are facts, guys. I don't make up these numbers. That's why you guys come here, because who's going to say this? I literally have to call out the Sierra Club. What an embarrassment. The Sierra Club is a joke. And when the Sierra Club does crap like this, it actually gives strength to the argument that conservatives make of there's climate change is a bunch of nonsense. It's just a way for these non-for-profit climate companies to make money. Well, this supports that, because if you're donating to the Sierra Club thinking they're fighting for the environment, they're fighting to get a guy that signed more drilling permits than Trump back into the White House for another 4 years. And I'm not an endorser of Trump. Trump is awful. He's awful for the environment. The Republican Party is awful for the environment. But then this is the problem. How are the Democrats better? How are the Democrats better? Tell me. Explain it to me. How are they better? They sign more permits? It's insane. This is the madness of this ridiculous two-party system, because both parties serve the ruling elites. Both parties serve the fossil fuel industry. Both parties serve the war machine. Both parties serve big pharma. Both parties serve, the for-profit prison system. The Republicans get a little more money from NRA, and the Democrats get a little more money from APAC. That's the difference, folks. But it's not just climate. I mean, we've talked about Roe v. Wade. The Republicans have been very honest for 50 years. They want to overturn Roe v. Wade. The Democrats could have codified Roe v. Wade as far back as President Carter and didn't. Ruth Bader Ginsburg wouldn't step down under Obama, which would have given the Democrats a liberal majority in the Supreme Court. She didn't do that. Hillary Clinton picked Tim Kaine, anti-abortion Democrat, as her running mate, which turned some pro-choice people off. Nancy Pelosi, the day the SCOTUS leak came out last year, was campaigning for Henry Kohler, however you pronounce that guy's name, who's an anti-abortion Democrat, because he was running against a progressive Democrat in the Texas primary last year. So she had to make sure that the progressive doesn't win, so we'll back an anti-abortion Democrat. It's unbelievable. It's such nonsense. And college-educated liberals swallowed it. I don't know how more clear to make it. The numbers of fossil fuel drilling permits, I don't make those numbers up. I don't, okay, man. And if you keep voting for the Democrats, then they'll keep getting into office and not doing the thing they said they did. If you voted for Joe Biden in 2020 because he made a pledge to the climate and climate collapse is important to you, then you should not be voting for him again. You should vote for Dr. Cornel West and the Green Party, is my opinion. RFK and Marianne Williamson, they're not going to reform the Democratic Party from within. The Democratic Party is pretty weak that they won't even let those people debate them. If I was president of the United States, I'd say anybody can debate me because you wouldn't be able to beat me. It's no, you wouldn't be able to debate me because I can debate my views, and I definitely, if I had 4 years as president, I could debate everything quite well. But so it's just like, this is what you get, man. Keep voting. Any blue will do. This is what you get. So that's why I won't give my vote to the Democratic Party, and which means I'm not voting for RFK or Marianne Williamson because I'm not voting for them. They're running within the Democratic Party. You can't change this corrupt party. So that's what's going on. So the Sierra Club is a joke. Don't give them your money. They're not fighting for you. They endorsed Hillary Clinton, who's pro-war. They endorsed Joe Biden. It's ridiculous. So they have no leg to stand on. This drilling permits thing, they have no leg to stand on. So keep supporting what we do, guys. We've been demonetized by YouTube because we talk about Epstein, we talk about the military-industrial complex. So the Republicans are awful, and so are the Democrats. In some ways worse, because the Democrats say they're going to do good things and then do the opposite, like more drilling permits. That, to me, I'd rather have, that's like somebody saying they're my friend and then bad-mouthing me behind my back. I can't trust that person. I don't trust the Democratic Party. I trust the Republicans. They're going to be evil, bad climate policy. They're just greedy, right-wing psychopaths. They don't want Roe v. Wade. They use the Bible and guns to get red state voters to vote against their own interests. They screw over the working class, just like the Democrats do. The Democrats say they fight for the working class and don't. Joe Biden has gone against unions. He shut down the rail strike. He's signed more drilling permits. I don't know what more you need, but it's amazing. Keep vote for the Democrats. This time will be different. Yeah. We just got it. This time it'll be different. I'm sure it will. So Support our show, guys. Go to grahamelwood.com. Sign up for our newsletter. I send you an email maybe once a month, and you can't get censored. I mean, follow me on social media, but the social media companies can interfere with that. If you join my newsletter and put in there your zip code where you live, that means I can come to do shows in your town, in your area. So support what we're doing. Follow the money connected dots, get the truth, and shave your knuckles for justice. Boom.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. We are still in our 9th month of demonetization from YouTube. So support what we're doing at patreon.com/GrahamElwood or rockfin.com/GrahamElwood, which is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. It's free to sign up, and there's a premium level at $10 a month. And for that, you get everybody on the platform's premium content. Myself, Lee Camp, Ron Placone, Jimmy Dore, Whitney Webb, Kim Iverson, Abby Martin, and many, many others. You can also support what we're doing at Venmo at Graham-Elwood, and go to grahamelwood.com. We have a PayPal button and a PO box. I also have crypto wallets, which are all in the show notes. Thanks for supporting what we do.